Good morning, our wonderful people. Welcome to the Ember Month. We are in the month of September. Oh my goodness. So today is September the 2nd of 2023. So welcome. We thank God for allowing us to make it this far. And we'll make it even further because we plan to collect our social securities. And then we plan to watch our great grandchildren have their weddings and do all those things. So, yeah, we are coming. I am not also. So welcome, welcome to the program. We are happy to have you here. Things are happening. The atmosphere is changing, and Africa is rising.
Yay.
So are you in the moment? Are you present in the moment? Are you aware of what is going on? Are you ready for the delivery? We've been showing you guys a pregnant African woman. For years now. Are you guys ready for that baby? But we must deliver that baby safely. And that's what we come here every Saturday to give you guys the pathways on how we can get that done so that our baby will be here safely and it will be a bouncing baby and we'll move forward and it will grow from glory to glory and we'll get to our destination. So it's not that complicated. Our God of our ancestors, He has been waiting for us to wake up, rise up, and do the right thing, and He will, finish up the rest. So wake up, our people. Welcome to the program, and please, as usual, help us to share, and we will be sharing as well. Thank you.
Wake up, Africans. Wake up, Africans. Africa is rising. Are you ready to rise with her? Or do you want us to throw you behind while we rise? So my name is Ekwi and I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Please, like my sister has said, help us to share, like, subscribe, because people need to hear this, get this information. You need accurate information. We don't want you to be inside where ship will carry you and go to Mediterranean Sea and throw you away there just because you lack information. So we'll be playing a video while we share. One of our daughters, you can hear that our children are rising and are coming up powerfully. So please continue to share and also sharing. Thank you.
Of nostalgia. We are ready to look at a new generation that is not hampered by the burdens of nostalgia. We are ready to look at Africa-France relations with fresh eyes, with optimism and with confidence. To paraphrase Nelson Mandela, our choices must reflect our hopes and not our fears. We are not afraid to take our responsibility. You must find the courage to take yours. Because France cannot remain trapped in an outdated vision of the African continent. We have come to propose solutions and to dialogue with you because we have a different, a more admirable future to propose. Not necessarily because we are going to be comfortable about what will change, but because at this point, it is the only thing that makes sense.
Yep.
But before we present this vision to you, Mr. President, there are some profound truths that need to be told in order to clear the air. And that is why I invite Adele on stage to present the facts. Thank you very much.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Adele
Hello,
Onyango.
I'm Adele Onyango,
Kenya.
and I come from Kenya.
And that is exactly as far as my French will take me. So I'm really honored and happy to be here today because I think it is no secret that the current relationship between Africa and France is complicated. And in order for us to build a relationship that addresses issues that affect not only Africa, not only France, but the globe, then it's important for us to interrogate this very complicated relationship and ask ourselves three things. One, what is not efficient? Two, what is not ethical? Three, where do we see integrity gaps? And to be able to do these three things, we're going to have to be brutally honest. The history of colonization is understandably very important. For Africa, it's a path that is as painful as it is destructive. And the effects of colonization can still be felt to date. And I'm not just saying economically, but even on an interpersonal level. We, as Africans, feel the pain of colonization every single day. Now, the lack of a clear and strong acknowledgement of the continent's pain on this destructive past results in skepticism. And the absence of actions that will further push the acknowledgement is also a major issue in the current France and Africa relationship. In fact, the air of denial that France chooses to sit in is uncomfortable, not only for Africa, but also for France. And it does no good for either one of us. How can you trust the source of your pain when the source doesn't acknowledge it? What we end up with is skepticism on what exactly does France stand for. And so we ask you, Mr. President, how strong can a relationship that is built on pain, that is built on skepticism, and that is built on lack of trust really be? We, not just as a team here, but all of us in this room and the 5,000 who helped with the report and the millions more on the continent and off of the continent want a commitment from you, Mr. President, that you will join us in the eradication of La France-Afrique, which is a very unfair dominance, and it has to end.
We are one. We're one.
Furthermore, the breakdown in understanding what France fully stands for is fueled by the continued collaborations that France has with agencies, leaders, and individuals who have glaring integrity issues, whilst on the other hand, claiming to be standing for human rights. So on one hand, we have France that is entrenched in issues around racism, around exploitative dominance, and whilst on the other hand, they're still claiming to teach others about democracy. These are two profiles that one cannot fill at the same time. And when you try to do that, we find it rather arrogant. What it creates is a cognitive dissonance, which is that discomfort you feel because of these two conflicting values. It not only doesn't make sense, it is unsustainable. It births a negative perception and an ambiguity in knowing once again what values does France stand for. Now, it is very clear, because we are all here, that the current relationship is imbalanced. It's not collaborative, and in some instances, it's exploitative. We have social impact solutions built without any input from relevant African civil society organizations who are a resource when it comes to really understanding problems on the ground and creating solutions that run efficiently. And they're a resource that Africa is willing to lend to France. Let's also not forget that whilst we in this room are here because we want to change and repair this relationship, there are some who are benefiting from this current dysfunctional relationship, be it private businesses from France on the continent with non-ethical practices, or corrupt individuals and groups from both France and Africa. This group, And the lack of a very loud and public condemnation of this obviously fuels skepticism. So this honest interrogation is a very important first step, because the strengths and weaknesses of this current relationship will dictate the success or failure of our collective future relationships. But we are not only telling you what's not working, we are very solution-driven, which is much unlike the heads of states that you're used to me saying. We know exactly what you need to commit to today, and we have a clear path on how we can achieve that. And that is what my brother Arthur will share with you.
All right, thank you. This video is actually online as well. You can see that these people are very dumb. Our daughter was sharp. She was witty. She was exact with her words. And this Indian TK in Igbo land means they know they hear what their ear is stuff. It didn't make any change. This girl was looking at him eyeball to eyeball. And he's dumb enough to realize what is going on. He thought it was all about his neo-colonialism pathways and strategies and all kinds of stuff. And they didn't hear. And here we are today. And more is on the way because the atmosphere is changing and Africa is rising. They have no choice. The universe have given them time and time and time again to make it right by the people. They couldn't. They lack the capacity to do so. So we are no longer waiting. African children are tired. They want to progress. They're already ready. They are empowered. Look at how. Have you ever seen any state of what is it called? Head of state speak to any Western person in that manner ever? Just think about it in your head. None. It's only lately that they are speaking because the African children are like, okay, if you're not gonna do the job, get out. Get out. We can represent ourselves. We are educated. We are smart. We're intelligent. We can sit on the table where decisions are being made and speak our mind. So kudos to our wonderful daughter. We love, love, love what she did. Continue to help us to share. As usual, you know how it goes. So, but we are not relenting because we are purposeful in our hearts. You know, we have a target that we're trying to get, and nothing will stop it. Nothing at all. And the universe is on our side. So today our topic is rightful on point, like our daughter said. You know, so the atmosphere is changing and Africa is rising. All we want is freedom. All we want is freedom. Freedom for our children to learn, our men to work, and our mothers to love. Freedom for our nation to grow and equality for everyone. We didn't say for some people because in their area, when they see people with chocolate skin looking like me, you don't get equity. It's not for you. Our brother went on to lament and he said, I am one of many, and there will be many, many more to follow. There is no court of law, no police force, no army that will stop the tide of revolution from turning, nor kill the will of the people, because we will fight. Because what? We will fight until all our people are free, and probably also free the wicked people doing this from their destructive self. This is according to our brother Solomon Malagu. This man was wrongfully accused and hung in 1979 in South Africa. You can hear that echo from his grave because the pursuit of genuine freedom has persisted through our human history. It is an intrinsic part of our essence. It resides deep in our souls, despite all the multifaceted tactics employed by the colonialists. We know what they did. They've used drugs, they've used religion, they've used entertainment, they've used hunger, they've used wars, they've used fear, intimidation, and sanctions. The flame for this desire to be free remains unquenched. It continues to flicker, it continues to soar, and the quest is unyielding. So currently, Africa is undergoing a transformation, breaking free from the chains of neocolonialism that have hindered its progress for decades. The atmosphere of change is palpable as the continent rises, asserting its sovereignty and embracing its own destiny. No longer subjected to exploitative projects, Africa is reclaiming its resources and charting a new course towards a sustainable development. So, as the shackles of neocolonialism gradually loosen, we shall continue to guide and channel all the indigenous peoples, especially in the Ninas Alliance territory, towards a long-lasting peaceful resolution of our union crisis and self-determination. So a lot has been going on this week. We are excited. Even the former president is, speaking. Things are happening. African children deserves a break. We can no longer sit aside and watch people use our resources to show off. We can no longer sit aside while our brothers and sisters drown in the Mediterranean Sea. As we are speaking, they are drowning every day. They are drowning. They are left in deserts to dry up like stockfish as we are speaking right now. So time is of essence. I will pull up this video of our former president while my sister add on.
Africa is rising. So, like we said, please join us to rise. Don't go and be uninformed and then do something that will put you at risk. So that you will not be like one guy that they prophesied in the Bible, that when Elisha told him that, okay, Israel will be free by this time tomorrow, he said, no, he doesn't believe it. And then he saw it, but he didn't partake of it. This is why we come here every Saturday to warn our children. Please stay away from criminality. We know things are hard. We know, we understand. However,
Advise us.
everyone is a victim.
Sorry.
Everyone is a victim. Do not make yourself an scapegoat. Listen to what Ninas is saying so that we'll do this through a process that will ensure safety for everyone. Let's listen to former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan as he acknowledges that the time atmosphere is changing and warned his compatriots of what might happen if they don't do what they're supposed to do, because the people have been pushed to the wall and they